It's Stephen Columbus here, Manager Policy and Quality. Today, myself and Matthew Very are just going to run through the training completion survey system, and particularly how to create a link into your Moodle shell so that students can just do the survey while they're doing their Moodle units online. Matt,
Okay.
over to you.
Thanks, Stephen. Okay, so you can see at the moment I'm in the shell that is the training completion survey. The first link in this shell is what you're probably going to be using, so I'll click on that. That'll take me to a new tab. And the course, I need to make a choice here. It's either going to be a short course or a full course. The shell that I want to put the survey into is a full course, and it's a unit BSB MGT 402A, which I believe is part of a bigger course, a full qualification. So I'm going to choose this link. Now, I don't want a hard copy. That's a hard copy. I want a web form template to create my survey, so I can then put the link into the shell. So I'll choose this one. Now, the long course, I believe, is a certificate for in business. So if I try typing a few, 4 could be 1B.
There it is, mate.
You saw it?
Yeah.
There it is, in business. Okay, so that's that's looking good. So that's the course it has to go into. I'm just going to choose today's date. The code, I'm just going to copy and paste from somewhere here. That'll do. If I paste that into there, it prompts me, I can just click on that. The course presenter, I believe, is probably Jody. The name on the shell's a little bit outdated. I guess it's worth going back and checking. I don't believe Sonia Lombardo works for us anymore. But I'm pretty sure it's Jody Davis. The campus is online. The mode is online. The portfolio will be business. Prompts me. So I'm happy with that. I can preview the page. If there's something wrong, I can always go back, but I'm going to save it now. And by saving it, it's taking me to a link that I can copy. This is important. Copy the shortcut onto my clipboard, which is invisible, but it's there. It's on an invisible clipboard in Windows. If you don't know about it, it's a really useful tool in Windows. And I'm going to go back to the course, and I'm going to find a good place for this survey to live. I think it should live just before this assessment.
Yeah, I agree.
So the students do the assessment, do the survey first, then do their assessment. So you may have noticed I turned the editing on to get all this extra functionality around, and now I want to add an activity or resource here. Let's click on this. Now I get a dialog box. All these things I can do. I want the last one, which is the URL. So I'm going to add a URL. Now, before I put the name or description in, I have on my clipboard the URL I want to paste in here, which is for me to get off my clipboard, and there it is. It's a long curl survey with the ID 147. Right, now I need to put a name in. We've been using the name training completion survey. I'll put the code in as well, BSB MGT2A, just to be sure, because some shells have more than one unit in them. Most just have one, but if there's more than one unit, we've been aiming to get more than one survey completed for each part of the unit. So I'm going to put in a description just asking people to please complete. Oops.
I might just add, Matt, while you're typing there, that We certainly wouldn't attach a survey to every unit. In fact, the rule would be about 20% of your units. Obviously, otherwise, because students are going to get pretty tired of filling out surveys.
Survey fatigue, as it's known. I don't really need to tinker with any of these other appearance. I don't think we don't need to add any of those. You want to make it visible at this point. Don't want to hide it from students, but I could hide it from students at this point. I don't want to restrict access to it. I want students to do it whenever they can. And there's no completion tracking for this. So I'm going to save it and return to the shell. And there it is there. That's that. If I click on that, it'll take us to the survey, certificate foreign business, the date, the trainer, and the location. The other details are only for reporting purposes, so we don't need that now, but we know it works. Okay, so what I'll do is probably move it just in front of this assessment here. And then I'm going to change the settings on this assessment so that they can only access it once they have looked at the survey, at least clicked on it. I'll edit the settings. It's just a prompt, just to encourage them to complete the survey. So I want to add a restrict access, add a restriction. Activity completion, and they must have completed the training completion survey. There it is. It must be marked as complete. Yeah, must. Okay. So that will, if I save that, return to the shell. You can see here there's a little footnote now that says that only teachers can see. Actually, I think even students can see that.
Yeah, that would be good for students to be able to see that, Matt, just so it's clear to them that we need them to do the survey.
Yeah. So this needs to be marked complete. So
Matt, what does that mean? How is the system going to know that the survey is complete?
It's just this little completion checkbox needs to be checked off. So at the moment, students can manually mark this as complete.
Okay, will it automatically mark once they've completed the survey?
Yeah. Once they've clicked on it, that will automatically check that box.
Okay, fine. So it's not going to force them to, they could just click that box, but at least it encourages the student to do the survey, and it hopefully means that for whoever's managing the survey, they don't have to manage it so actively. They can assume that most students will, do the survey and then move on to their assessment as we would like them to.
Yeah, I can make it a little bit more stricter here. You can see I'm inside the training completion shell.
No, I think if you make it manually, then the students may just be confused and not know what to click to move on to do their assessment. And then, of course, you get very angry students who can't do their assessments.
Yeah, because I could make it when conditions are met, and that condition would have to be students view this activity. So they would have to have clicked on it before they can access their assessment.
Yeah.
I could
we
do
would
that
probably not recommend that staff do that, because then you might have students being delayed from doing their assessments. We really just want to encourage them to engage, and hopefully once they take a look at the survey, they'll be happy to then do the survey.
So we'll let the students manually mark as complete.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll save and return to shell. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So thanks for watching, and if there's any questions, please call me, and I can share my screen as I'm sharing my screen with Stephen, and talk you through any issues that you might have.
Thanks very much, Matt.
Okay, thanks, Stephen.
Bye.